And tell me about your trajectory in the main. Where can you kind of give me, not every day, but give me sort of like day 1, 2, sort of how did you start? Was day 1, was it hot from the beginning? Did you sort of just maintain and ignite? How
Yeah.
did it go?
I remember I went to like a barbecue party with a bunch of poker people after day 1, because there was like some days of break in between there. So I went to a barbecue and everyone was like talking about how did you do day 1 in main, and everyone had like 5 starting stacks and stuff like that. People had bagged like pretty big stacks, and I had bagged like less than a third of a starting stack. I think I had like 18K or something going into day 2 from
No
60K
way.
starting.
You were
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah.
18.
I was like at
Wow.
17 point something going into day 2. So I was like, yeah, I bagged this like dog shit stack. And people were like, yeah, like you can always spin it up. It's the main event. You still have 30 bigs and don't worry about it. And I was like, yeah, I mean, sure. But I didn't have like super high expectations or whatever going into day 2, obviously. And then day 2, I ran just super hot. I think I bagged 460K or something after day 2, starting from 18K. So that was absurd.
Wow.
And then every day after that, I bagged between I bagged like between 1 and 3 average stacks every day after that. Basically, just ran really pure and was never really in danger until I think I was all in once on day 5 or something, where I got super lucky. I was all in with Queen Jack suited versus Pocket Kings for like an 80 big blind pot. Got a flush.
You were all in
Uh,
pre-flop?
Yeah. That
You
was
were
pretty
all.
bad play by me. This was like probably my biggest mistake during the main event, I think. Like I open under the gun 7 of like 40 bigs. He 3 bets me in the hijack. I 4-bet chip on him like for 40 bigs. And it's a play that's like if you're in late position, it's a legit play. Like if you're hijack cutoff or cutoff button. But early versus hijack, it's very punty. Like you're only supposed to use like your suited ace X here, ace 5 suited, ace 4 suited, whatever. But I felt like his raise fold gap here is going to be insane. He's never going to 3-bet call off ace queen or ace jack here for that many bigs. If he does it with ace king, we're doing okay against that, and he's going to have all like he was like an American regular, and he's going to like 3-bet fold ace 10 off, ace jack off, ace queen off, king jack off. He was like pretty aggressive, and I felt like he was going to be super wide. I'm not sure if that
Wow.
was a valid read or not. Maybe
Wow, that's
it was
insane. I mean, it just like that's because that's not like it's not like you had 12 blinds, right? Like this is a
yeah,
lot.
yeah,
How many
yeah,
people are
yeah.
left? Was there still hundreds left?
Oh yeah, this is I think it was like day 5.
So probably a
We
couple
were in the
hundred,
money. But yeah,
300 or 400 or so.
probably a
Wow.
play I should not be making. Like my theory going into main event is that like because everyone says like you should play careful because people are gifting you stacks left and right. There's a lot of
Yeah.
recreationals in this field who will just gift you stacks, right? But my approach was like I want to play pretty aggressive in these spots. Like you want to accumulate a lot of chips because imagine going into the late stages of this tournament with a lot of chips. You can put so much pressure on people. So I had like a pretty aggressive approach throughout the tournament, but I think this hand is just bad. I think it's just a punt off it, honestly. I don't think it's like losing heaps, but I think it's very unnecessary in this tournament. So yeah, but
Wow.
I got lucky. He flopped a king, which makes it even sicker. He flops a king, I flop a flush draw, I turn a flush, brick river. I felt pretty bad for the guy. Yeah, he was a really nice guy as well.
How smooth a ride was it once you got sort of down past day 5? Like where you were pretty much in control and never at risk? Were you sort of just covering people and pleasantly chipping up?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, after that, I don't really think I was all in again until we were like 14 people left or something. When I got in aces versus ace king for like chip lead pot. Um, like I open an early position, Tom Kunze, German pro, 3-bets me. We were like the 2 chip leaders at the table. He
Wow.
3-bets me. I 4-bet. He ships it with ace king. I snap it off and we hold. And that was for like a lot of chips at that point. So that was like the next time I was all in, I think. Like between the Queen Jack suited, where I beat kings, and this aces hand, I think I was like hovering around 2x average, 3x average for most of the tournament, just getting a lot of good cards. And yeah, I think it was after this aces versus ace king hand where I was like chip leading with 13, 14 people left or whatever it was, and the field was looking great at that point. There was not that many professionals left, and I had the chip lead, and I've studied a lot of ICM. It's probably the part of the game tree, I think, where I feel like I have the most edge, because a lot of people now, like 2022, a lot of the pros have studied a lot, like single raise pot, button versus big blind. Most people knows how to play different boards, and people know how to play like the regular spots at this point. There's not that much edge to be gained there, but I think like in ICM, there's still like a very big discrepancy, like between professionals, even like how they approach it. And it's one of the parts of the game tree that I have studied the most, where I feel like I probably have the most edge. So at that point, I felt pretty good. But of course, it's tournament poker, and like you have the chip lead, but like one cooler the wrong way, and suddenly you're in ninth place or whatever, right? So I wasn't like, okay, this is my tournament now, but I felt really good at that point. Yeah.
And how did the heads up battle go? How was that? How long did it last? And how was your opponent?
That was kind of ridiculous, because on day 6 or something, I was playing a lot with Attenborough. And honestly, at that point, I felt he was the strongest competitor I had left in the tournament. He was getting the best of me in a lot of spots. And I felt, okay, if there's anyone I don't want to reach heads up with, it's this guy, because he's very sticky, very tough, very aggressive. So at that point, he was like the toughest player left in the field, I think. So when I get him heads up, I was like, okay, yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. The heads up was pretty long time-wise, but hands-wise, it wasn't that long, because a lot of it was tanking, like the one hand that we played, like the infamous Jack 4 versus King Queen, I guess that was like the longest tanked hand. Like the whole hand lasted like 40 or 45 minutes or something. I think we were like 5 minutes away from CBS having to pull the plug, like or having to tell Attenborough, like, okay, you have like 2 minutes left on the clock or whatever, because they were close to like reaching, because it's streamed, right, with like an hour delay or something. So we were close to catching up on the delay. So I think CBS was like getting ready to call the clock on him.
Okay, so not from a standpoint of, wow, this is like, for TV, it's not great. This is like saying just from a legitimately just like gaming integrity and like the delay and stuff.
Yeah, because it was gonna catch up, and the rail could tell him, if you have better than King Queen, call. If you have worse than King Queen, fold. We were getting close to that point. To his credit, he was one of the fastest player throughout the whole tournament. When I was playing with him before, he had premeditated most of his decisions, and he's like a very smart and good player. He knew his ranges, and he wasn't balancing his timing or anything like that. He just knew what to do, and he made his decisions. So to his credit, he was playing. On average, I spent more time than him on decisions during the tournament.
Okay.
A lot of people are giving him flack now on Twitter and whatever. A lot of people are like, but honestly, also people were asking me like, why don't you call the clock on him in this spot? And I was like, I would never call the clock on anyone in this spot, no matter what.
Right?
Like,
yeah, you guys are playing for
spot of
$4 million. Like, look, you're not in a hurry. You don't have dinner plans. You can relax a little, and it's all good. It's in the good sports.
Yeah.
You guys aren't.
It's the biggest spot in both of our lives. Like calling the clock there would be very unsportsmanlike, in my opinion. A lot of people say like it's part of the game, like calling the clock, it's in your rights to do, and it's part of the game. I don't really see it like that. I would like, it's a complex spot, and it's for a lot of money. Like he deserves to be able to think it's completely true, right? So,
what would be you'd like people to say about you as a representative and ambassador for the game?
If I have to like compare me with one of the previous winners, I guess I'm relatively similar to Martin Jacobson in terms of like both being very like health conscious, focused on like eating healthy, working out, meditating, doing everything we can to keep like mind and body healthy. I think that's going to be like my main goal as an ambassador. Try to inspire people to be healthier. I think like a lot of poker people, they kind of take health not for granted, but they don't take it as seriously as they should, I think. Because like, for example, playing the main event, you play for 10 days straight. I think that's where like having the resilience to like getting tired and whatever, if you're in good shape and you prioritize sleep and healthy habits and whatever, you're going to have a better shot at maintaining a focus for that long, right? And I think I want to be like a good role model for younger people coming up in poker who who see like, because you see like some parts of poker, you see some people living that like party lifestyle. They travel a lot, they party a lot, and it's like very freedom and party oriented lifestyle, right? I would rather try to focus on the healthy aspect of poker, like studying, trying to master your craft, doing everything you can to master your craft in the best way possible, basically. And I think you see that a lot in the high stakes scene now, right? It used to be like 10 years ago, you would see people playing high stakes, like drinking, smoking weed, doing like all kinds of stuff, you know, and they would still win money because poker was so easy then. Today, at the top level, it's very competitive. You see all these guys, like Jason Kuhn is the best example, right? Look at the guy; he's like a beast. He's an absolute beast, and you see a lot of these people. They do focus a lot on health, fitness, meditation, journaling, whatever they can. So I think that's yeah. I want to aspire to that, and I want to inspire other people to be like that as well.